Hi guys, I'm Ron here to talk about stroke recovery here on my channel Humanize. So if you are watching and you are related to a stroke survivor, or you might be a stroke survivor, or anyone interested in stroke, the different kinds of strokes, the brain, how it works, and all that stuff with neurology. Like my channel, Humanize, here on YouTube, and together we can build positive avenues to help each other heal. Right now, in this episode, stroke number 6, we'll be talking about stroke recovery and caregiving and whatnot. But anyway, so in this episode, just a short episode as usual, we're going to talk about what stroke survivors have to deal with. Okay, one of them is when their muscles have become stiff, and we're going to talk about it right now and how they can possibly heal this medical issue that they have when their body is experiencing stiffness and paralysis and what have you. All right. So again, stroke is a form of brain damage. It is caused by the arteries, of course. Either there's a blockage in the arteries that prevents oxygenated blood from getting to the brain, or there's a there's a brain bleed. I was gonna say brain, but a brain bleed where the arteries somehow is weakened and it bursts inside on the brain, in the brain, or they have like a aneurysm that bursts, that becomes a hemorrhagic stroke. All right, so anyway, I'm not an expert, but we're gonna delve in this thing called spasticity. All right, spasticity is a motor disorder characterized by involuntary muscle stiffness and hyperreflexia resulting from damaged neural pathways. It often develops from maladaptive neuroplasticity, where the nervous system rewires incorrectly post-injury. Right? However, targeted rehabilitation can leverage neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to rewire and reorganize, to reduce spasticity and restore functional motor control. Okay, spasticity is when you can't move, and that's what they're trying to say here, is that you can rehabilitate. All right, so spasticity and maladaptive plasticity definition. Spasticity is a velocity dependent increase in muscle tone, often creating involuntary stiff resistance to movement. All right. Maladaptive plasticity. Following injury, like a stroke, the brain may rewire in a way that increases muscle tension rather than functional movement. Reticulospinal hyperexcitability is a key mechanism for this, impeding recovery. Spasticity restricts voluntary motion by causing antagonist muscles to overreact, which complicates the brain's attempt to learn new healthy motor patterns. All right. So, neuroplasticity as treatment. Rewiring the brain. Neuroplasticity enables the brain to form new connections to bypass damaged areas. So that's basically healing, right? Targeted exercises, repetitive, goal-oriented training, robotic therapy, and functional electrical stimulation, FES, are designed to rewire neural pathways to reduce spasticity, and enhance movement. Modulation. Techniques like TMS, transcranial magnetic stimulation, or medication, baclofen, help manage the involuntary contractions, creating a window for neuroplastic changes. All right. Relationship to recovery. While spasticity often presents as a barrier to recovery, engaging in neuroplasticity based exercises can lead to improvements in muscle strength, balance, and voluntary movement over time. My Uncle Bill suffered a hemorrhagic stroke on the 17th of October in 2020. It's 2026. I just seen him. He lives in Washington. He's still not 100%. His left side of the brain is where the hemorrhagic stroke happened. Hence, his right side is partially paralyzed. And he does have spasticity, stiff. Sometimes it has a burning sensation. And I went to, in the past, not this past trip, but a year or so ago, and he went to like occupational therapy, and he had this thing all hooked up to his neck, his shoulders, his arms, and it was like electric stimulation. And I'm going to talk about that right now. And that was supposed to help him with his, neuroplasticity, being able to move his muscles again, and also feeling. And actually, that electrical stimulation worked because at one time, this was in Washington again, he couldn't feel anything, and all of a sudden he told his wife and Gloria, hey, his arm feels like it's burning, like it's in boiling water, which is actually a good sign, right? Because when you're dealing with stroke and you're paralyzed, you can't feel anything. But he was able to feel again, which was good, but he sometimes is in constant pain, and it's a good thing in a way because he can feel again. And he's walking better because he does his physical and occupational therapies, and he's like a full-on warrior. He just goes at it all the time. All right, so let's talk about electrical stimulation, or E-stim, E-stim, for stroke patients, okay, including functional electrical stimulation, FES, and neuromuscular electrical stimulation, NMES. Helps rehabilitate paretic muscles by delivering low voltage electrical currents, promoting muscle contraction and neuroplasticity. It is primarily used to reduce spasticity, improve range of motion, and enhance functional mobility in upper and lower limbs. All right. Key uses and benefits. FES, functional electrical stimulation, often used for foot drop by stimulating muscles to lift the foot during walking, also called gait training. All right. Arm and hand rehabilitation, stimulates triceps and wrist finger extensors to aid in extending the elbow and opening the hand. All right. Spasticity management reduces muscle stiffness and improves range of motion. Neuroplasticity encourages the brain to rewire itself by increasing neural signals. Okay, the brain, we talked about stroke is a form of brain injury, but neuroplasticity, again, it encourages the brain to rewire itself by increasing neural signals. So your brain it's a muscle. So let's say there's portions of the brain that's actually non-functioning. The brain can recover actually like pruning like the dead parts of the brain and rejuvenating itself, believe it or not. I'm not a neuroscientist, I'm not a neurosurgeon, but that's what I've read in true medical journals online, from like Mayo Clinic, Cleveland Clinic, and from well-known neurosurgeons and therapists, well-known therapists. I bought books get into that later. But anyway, types of electrical stimulation, again, FES, used as a functional orthotic to trigger muscle movements during tasks such as grasping or walking. All right. NMES/TES. All right. So therapeutic electrical stimulation focuses on strengthening weakened muscles to improve voluntary motor control. TENS or TENS, transcutaneous electrical nerve stimulation, primarily used for pain management, reducing pain by interrupting nerve signals. All right, so safety and precautions. All right, so this is for those of you who are flirting with getting these types of therapies. Safety and precautions. So do not use if you have a pacemaker or implanted electronic device. Again, that's like if you had a heart surgery or a heart condition and you have a pacemaker, well, that's electric. So you don't want to use any kind of electrical stimulation. All right. So use caution over areas with numbness or decreased sensation. So in other words, if you're going to go to therapy and you have areas like that, numbness, decreased sensation, you don't want to use it. All right. So do not apply over open wounds, tumors, or the front of the neck. All right. It's self-explanatory, right? Why would you want to put any kind of electrical stimulation over an open wound or a tumor that possibly could burst? Or in front of the neck where you have your Adam's apple and all the sensations where you breathe, your throat, you don't want that there. All right. So the effectiveness, all right. So research shows that FES can improve walking speed with benefits potentially lasting long term and improve upper limb functionality. Studies suggest it is most effective when paired with regular intensive rehabilitation therapy. All right, so that's it. So I'm just going to comment on this. So my Uncle Bill Nahalea, I don't know if I have any videos of him going through the electrical stimulation therapies, but it does work. And my Uncle Bill is not at 100. I'd say right now, from looking at him, he's a positive, I'd say 70% good. He walks, he does extra time in the gym. Auntie Gloria becomes his sole caregiver, and she goes through a lot mentally as the sole caregiver. But when he can't go in to see the therapist, he does his own practice, his own exercises. He'll go to the YMCA or the local fitness center, and he does laps after laps with his cane, with his walker, anything to help him. But the fact is, that man goes 100%, and that's a fact. I know it works because I seen him when he couldn't do much, and now he's more capable. In other words, he's more happy. He goes to all his doctor's appointments. He listens to the doctors. He listens to his wife, Auntie Gloria, that's trying to get him into better eating habits and sleeping habits. So for those of you recovering from stroke, this is why I'm doing this channel called Humanize. It'll be dedicated to helping people recover, not just from stroke, but anything in life, anything traumatic. But right now, I'll be doing a lot of stroke episodes as well as other mental health episodes as well, and talking to people later on. So I need your help. Like the channel, subscribe to it, and later on when I get funding, I can build this Humanize brand possibly. I know there's other people using Humanize, but I'll maybe brand it another way. In fact, I got a logo. I can call it Humanize, but have my brand over it. I don't know. But my main goal here on this YouTube channel is to be positive, to help others realize that life isn't just doom and gloom. It's hard. People have called me and messaged me and told me off, man, and because they're so down in the dumps right now. I get it. Some people don't have any support. I get it. And hopefully, maybe by me doing this, I can be a source to raise money, to raise funds specifically for people that's going through the stroke ordeal. All right. So support me because I got everyone's back that's dealing with stroke and stroke recovery, as well as other mental health traumatic events that someone may have experienced. Again, I'm just starting out, guys. I'd like to do this full time, but money is an issue. I can't do this full time. I don't have the right perfect equipment. I don't have a staff. I don't have fact checkers working for me. I don't have a cameraman. I don't have an editor. It's all me. So that's why I look so casual, like I just woke up a lot of times. I'm in my wake up clothes, if you will. And some people like it because they say, hey man, you just look down to earth and it doesn't sound, you don't look too pretentious. But believe me, if I go out in public and start talking about stroke, I ain't gonna look like this, guys. I'll make you guys proud of me. I'll look better. But I need your support. Whatever you can, send help my way. I got a Venmo. Message me. My email address is ronald.sombrano1@gmail.com. You can look in my description. My info's there as well. And for those of you who need someone to talk, I'm also a attentive listener. I'm not a professional therapist. I'm not licensed, but I'm a pair of ears for anyone that's dealing with any kind of anything that they need to vent. Get it out of your head, get it off your chest. People call me for an hour, we Zoom, and they just spill the beans on how they're feeling, and I just listen. I might ask a few questions, but I don't offer advice because a lot of times people just need to vent. And if you need advice, I'm not that person because I'm not a licensed medical or mental health therapist. I'm just a guy that listens, and I do have fees, but it's really affordable. So I can do that. Message me or email me for that too. All right. So hope you guys can like this channel, subscribe, so that the more people I got on, and I can tell people who wants to sponsor, hey, look, I got people behind it. And it's all because I want to help people right now recovering from stroke and caregivers who are dealing with stroke victims and other issues as well. All right. I'm Ronson Brown. You guys take care. God bless. And until the next episode, all right? You guys take care.